Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Pipit Harawati. Here I will presentation about the result of my research, and the title is an analysis of student reading fluency at the 11th grade students of SMA Negeri 1 Mengke. And this is a research question. How is the accuracy, automaticity, and prosody students reading fluency at the 11th grade students of SMA Negeri 1 Mengke? And the research method. Searches of research which used in this study the result of data collection that is done by way of test. The data that collected in this study analyzed with descriptive analysis method. And the research designed. This research qualitative research. This used a descriptive analytical study which is an attempt to collect, interpret the data and then analyze the data. Describe and examine more clearly from various relate to the circumstances, the situation, and the phenomenon understood. In this slide, I want to explain about Chapter 4, Research Findings and Discussions. Research findings. In making a decisions about the students' reading fluency, it was considered on test scores. Moreover, the test was on March 23, 2018 for 90 students. In the sections, the writer described the findings of research in order to know how the student reading fluency at the 11th grade students of SMA Negeri 1 Mengke. The result of test. The writer organized research to collect data. On one meeting, the writer explained about short descriptions of tests that consisted of a test. And this table 4.1, the score of student accuracy. In this slide, I want to explain about the table 4.1 above. The writer explained the aspects of student reading fluency about accuracy. In analyzing the students' reading accuracy, the students need to be able to pronounce words correctly. The students they are able to read a passage with between 6 and 10 errors every 100 words are on their instructional reading levels. Regarding for the result table above, the writer concluded first that for the 90 students in which 6 students were in the level 95% to 100% in reading fluency. It means for 6 students in reading the text, they are do not problem faced and the text does not present a challenge for them. Second, for the 10 students who were in the level 19 to 94% in reading fluency, in which in reading the text is challenging but manageable. And lastly, 4 students were in the level 89% below. It means the students had difficulties in reading tests and the text is frustrating for them. And this is slide about table 4.2, the score of students' prosody. Okay, in here I want to explain about table 4.2. The writer explained the aspect of student reading fluency about prosody. In analyzing prosody, the writer used some elements. They are praising word stress, intonation, attention to punctuation, and pitch. Based on the result above, in which the students scored in rate 8, it means the students did not do expression to passage correctly. In addition, based on the result of the test, automaticity is the fast, effortless word recognition that comes with a great deal of reading practice. In early stages of learning to read, students may be accurate but slow and inefficient at recognizing words. Continuous reading practice helps word recognitions become more automatic, rapid, and effortless. By looking at the explanation above, the writer concluded that the student's fluency of accuracy and automatic It is levels, frustration level in which they are difficult for the students to read less than 19% word accuracy. 90% word accuracy. In this slide, I wanna explain about discussions to determine the student's level in reading fluency. The writer used to use the guidance in determining every student's fluency in reading as seen in the previous chapter. After analyzing the task given to the students, the writer checked and scored every student's result. There were 19 students who followed the test. From the task given to the students, overall, the writer gave a text to rate by students. In the study, there are three aspects that analyze the offer's accuracy. First, that for the 90 students in which 6 students were in the level 95% to 100% in reading fluency, it means for 6 students in reading the text they are do not problem faced and the text does not present a challenge for them. Second, for 10 students were in the level 90 to 94% in reading fluency, in which in reading the text is challenging but manageable. And lastly, students were in the level 89% below. It means the students had difficulties in reading text and the text is frustrating for them. Second, in analyzing prosody, the writer used some elements. They are praising word stress, intonation, attention to punctuation, and page. Based on the result above, in which the students got in rate 8, it means the students did not do expression to the passage correctly. Lastly, the result automaticity is the fast, effortless word recognition that comes with a great deal of reading practice. In early stages of learning to read, students may be accurate but slow in efficiency as recognition become more automatic, rapid, and effortless. By looking the explanation above, the writer concluded that the students' fluency of automatic is in level of frustration level in which they are difficult for the students to read. Less than 90% word automatic. And the last chapter 5, conclusion and suggestions. Conclusion. From the result of the test, it was found the students' fluency of accuracy and automaticity is in level frustration levels in which they are difficult for the students to read. Less than 90% word accuracy, then of the students' fluency above, the writer concluded that is with the student level prosody level 2 or not fluent, in which the students read primarily into word phrases with some 3 or 4 word groupings, some word by word reading present. Word grouping seems awkward and unrelated to late context of sentence or passage. Then the student read primarily word occasional 2-word or 3-word phrases occur, but these are infrequent and or the students to do prefer meaningful syntax. And suggestions. 1. English teacher. The teacher should improve the students' reading fluency verb by giving them more practice. It is also important for the teacher talk some expect in reading. And 2. The students. The students are suggested to increase their motivation and interest in learning English. Also, the students should be practiced a lot in reading fluency by themselves. The student also should pay serious attention to the teacher explanation when reading teaching learning going on. And these references of my thesis proposal. And thank you.